Alright, so it's 1985, I'm 10 years old, and I'm living in El Paso, Texas. My best friend Pablo and his older brother invite me to go to Juarez, Mexico, which is right across the border, for an afternoon. And while we're over there, we discover it's a candy distributor, like a wholesale candy distributor. And now Pablo and I were, pretty well acquainted with the retail candy market at that time. And so we looked around, we knew that we were looking at a gold mine. So we brought money with us to buy, like, I don't know, shooting star or throwing stars and like fireworks or something. But we immediately shifted gears and we decided we were going to make a big buy right on the spot. So we got we pooled our money. We got Blow Pops and Jolly Ranchers, candy bars, stuff like that. Stuffed it all into the car and smuggled it across the border. And the next day we were in the candy business. So Pablo was a little older, and he went to the school in the neighborhood, and every morning he walked by my house. And so we figured that it would be better if he kept the main stash, and every morning he would he'd break off a little piece and resupply me through my bedroom window. So that was our routine. I instead, I had just started going to a magnet school across town. So I had about a 45-minute school bus ride every day, each way. And so, Pablo and I got together and we figured, all right, these kids, the other kids on the bus were going to be our sweet spot. Like they were the target market. And it was great. I mean, it just went like gangbusters. I would sell out every single day. I was getting resupplied every time. We had to go back to Juarez a couple times. I mean, it was insane. And within 3-4 weeks, I bought this sweet Volterra skateboard I had my eye on for a long time. And so it was going great. And from the start, I had decided that I was going to just stick to selling on the bus. I mean, I kind of have this reputation as a good kid, so I didn't want to take it onto school grounds. But word got out. I mean, word traveled fast. So my clients on the bus would tell their friends, and their friends would tell their friends, and pretty soon, I was the candy man, So people would be coming to me all hours of the day trying to get a taste, and so finally, the market forces were too much for me, and I broke down and I started selling whenever. And that was what brought me to the attention of the authorities. So one day we're sitting in class and we're about to go to the computer lab to play some Oregon Trail or something. And, so Miss Richards stands up in front of the class and she's like, I got an announcement. She's like, I've been seeing some shady business going on in the classroom and in the halls, money changing hands, stuff like that shouldn't really be going on in the school. You know who you are. I want you to just come forward and we'll clear this all up. So I was like, all right, well, reading between the lines, I had this reputation as a good kid, so I was like, the real offense here is not the sales so much as my having been fairly indiscreet about it. So I resolved to kind of, keep it under her nose, just let this blow over, sit tight. Would be cool. So an hour later, we come back from the computer lab and boom, my backpack's open, my stash is gone, my cash is gone, I got stolen, right? So Miss Richards immediately pulls me aside and she says, listen, you had a chance to do it on your terms, now we're going to do it on my terms. I'm going to give you back your contraband when you bring your parents in for a parent-teacher conference. A parent-teacher conference, right? I was like, this is it. This is like the beginning of my decline into juvenile delinquency, right? So I kind of hung my head and I sheepishly explained to my parents what I'd been up to over these months. And so the day of the parent-teacher conference comes, and it's a show trial. I mean, Ms. Richards is just blowing things way out of proportion. She's all bluster and outrage. At one point, she hauls the candy bag out and slams it down the table. And and it becomes less a kind of criticism of my behavior and more of an indictment of my parents' parenting abilities, right? And so, but we resolve, okay, I'm not going to sell candy anymore, and I'll accept whatever punishments my parents have for me. So we're leaving the conference, and I'm walking across the parking lot with my parents, and I'm waiting for the sword to drop. I'm terrified about what my fate is. And my mom turns to me and she says, Andrew, your father and I were really astonished by, this sort of entrepreneurial effort that you had going on under our noses. And having met Mrs. Richards, I think we are pretty confident that you'll have learned more from this episode than you ever will from Mrs. Richards. And then my dad, in one of those moments of sort of parental solidarity and sort of unconditional love, gave me a little little punch to the shoulder, and he said, you know, Andrew, you're a good kid. And to which my mom added a moment later, and tomorrow we start you on an allowance.